Welcome back to OWL003, where I'm mapping the matrix one target at a time. And I want to talk to you about calibration targets. So calibration targets, you want to throw calibration targets into your repertoire just to keep you, home. Because some targets have very little feedback. Some have some. Operational targets, you don't really get a ton of feedback. A lot of times in operations, you don't get any. Just depends on what you're doing and who you're working for. But point is, what I want to talk to you about is I see a lot of just a lot of people getting like greedy. Okay, so here's what I want you to understand. When you remote view all the time, you've basically felt almost every kind of situation imaginable. Everything is boring. Nothing's more really interesting than anything else after a while. So you get into such a pattern. You get so honed in when you practice a lot. Your subconscious knows the program. It's going to go right there, drop right down in there, and just, give. So you've seen me do, some targets with very little feedback associated with it, or none at all, or, speculative targets. So I want to give you guys just a little example of a target I did today. I pulled out of a target pool, and I did 13 pages. Now, usually, like an operational session, I'll do, depending on what's there, 30, 40, 50, 60 pages. And I'll go to clay, stage 6, all this. So today, just to kind of stretch my legs, I just did a random target. I put out about 13 pages, and I wanted to see how much data I could get just going to stage 3. I didn't even have to go to the matrix. So most of you guys are probably familiar with the Taj Mahal. There's a lot of antiquity associated with it, blah, blah, blah. So let's get into it. So the tasking was the remote viewer will remote view the Taj Mahal at the time of the session, which was earlier today. Okay. So right out of the gate, I've got a structure and I've got life forms, meaning right out of the gate, I knew there was several people here. And even if there wasn't, I'll figure it out down the road. It all kind of just comes together. So much of this is just kind of picking it up, dropping it. You don't care. So right away, I'm getting squeaky sounds, rumbling sounds, squirting, just in early stage 4. Crisscross, windy, warm, AOL staircase, T-shaped, soft, organic, yellow, bright, fresh, sunny smells, orange, aggregate, sense of sympathy, gray, tamper, black, multi. So again, I only took this to stage 3, but I want to show you guys something. Okay. Grateful to be here. Here's my AI. So I can get these bright orange colors. AOL break, mail servant. So I'm getting people, a lot of people. And I was getting, you'll see in the session, I was getting a sense of performance art, which they do stuff like that there. So that makes sense that I was getting all that. They must have had a show or something going on today. Now this is page 3. Okay. AOL break, like a mosque. All right. Like a mosque. Which I think it is a mosque. Okay, so a herald, like a graveyard. AOL Studebaker. So I'm all these AOLs, it's like hearing a voice in your head going, religion, gravestones, statues, and it's all kind of, so you get to a point where, you're so used to dropping right down on the target that you're almost in stage 4 almost immediately. Like some of this data I could have almost like dropped right into the matrix and started dropping this down. Because what'll happen is you'll put down your AOL and it peels back up, because you're so trained to just drop it and walk away, and then it keeps coming back around again. So, like an announcement. So again, people be distracted by these people. Okay. AOL closed casket. So I'm getting all these, like statues and AOL break like a fountain. So I knew there was a water feature around here. Like I was getting so much water stuff. AOL break sacrificial. AOL break monastery. So you see this like a lot of this is signal and high level data just wanting to push its way through. Now again, I'm getting back to the point of it doesn't matter to me if it was some UFO based in the desert, or if it's a mosque in wherever. It doesn't matter to me. It's just another target. AOL break funeral procession. Historic stage 4. EI good natured. AOL break war memorial. So again, I'm getting these statues. Backlit. AOL Machu Picchu. AOL like a ceremony. So had I really broken this out, I have some decent sketches here, but had I really, maybe 20 pages, there would have been a lot of compelling sketches here, but I'm just trying to get my point across. Okay, AOL break Buddha. So again, this woman's doing some kind of performance art there. Like a performance, okay, like a stage performance. Like a performance art piece. Shogun Warrior. So now I could tell it's, you kind of get a sense of... So I already noticed, like when I see Shogun Warrior, I know that's just... I know that it relates to some kind of antiquity and something outside of this country, basically. That's what it's kind of telling me. So I tried to get above it, and I think this is the water feature I was getting, from the top. Just getting things hanging. Just hearing drumming. Okay. Target summary. Okay, target is a large structure, land base with wet, gritty, rough, concretey textures. Colors were bright black, gold, orange, white. Feels warm and sunny here. Dimensions are tall, arching, multiple, peaked, and multi-level. I hear many voices here. It feels crowded. I felt there was some kind of performance art happening here. The whole place has an old religious or spiritual vibe. The structure feels old, but this feels like modern era. I felt a water feature nearby. Session end. So again, this is kind of like my minimalist effort on something, just to show you guys an example of. Now that is to stage 3 with the summary. That's halfway through the protocol. So I guess my point is when you get to like a certain level, when you have gotten to a point where you've really arrested you've quelled it enough, your drive to be right, your analytical response, when you empty all that out, when you empty out all your personal inclemencies, and you have that empty space in your mind, the only thing that's left to happen is for the data, for the signal to come through. That's it. So, again, practice. This didn't happen overnight, but what I'm saying is again, It's good to do calibration targets, pull them out of a pool every once in a while, see how you do. Um, but from my perspective, it doesn't seem to make much difference. I mean, like I do just as well if it's, seemingly by the data, whatever, it doesn't matter. But um, but again, I guess what I'm trying to say is, and this has been talked about before, but when you get to a point where you've gotten so far out of the way of your own baggage, it just leaves a signal wide open, and you're just grabbing it and writing it down. Um, so again, just to go to show you that, like I said, it's 13 pages. I didn't put much effort into this, and it's far from my best target, but just to serve as an example, you get an idea what could be done with just a minimal effort with this when you work hard and and you mix it up. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys that, and we'll catch you next time.